congratulations on the win today. Just on your take throughout the game.
Yeah, it was a good game. I think two teams that play similar style, like to play the advantage line, carry clean. I thought we controlled the ball better today. Still a few mistakes out there, but yeah, very proud of the boys to come away with the win.
Thank you. Next question, please. The front again, please.
There were a few more mistakes in the second half, but the defensive line seemed to really hold things together. I was just wondering, Simon, what you made of that, and Cap, what's you saying to the guys to keep their heads level for the second half?
Yeah, I think the boys wanted to keep us on the edge of the seat. So, and it was, we wanted to continue to play and play to win. I thought the boys were outstanding today. Set piece was good. You know, the carries were good. Backs the 19th carried, controlled the game well. So it was a good win against a very good Australian team. So we could have easily got distracted last week with the loss, but the boys applied themselves, trained well all week, prepared themselves, and the result was a direct relation to the progression that the boys put in.
Thank you. Next question. Here on the left, please.
Wise Muller. Throughout the week, the management and the team had that mindset. You said, we need a winning mindset. There's no other way. Did that help out there today?
Yeah, of course. The boys understand that, and coming into this week, we prepare for that. Our mentality is to come with a winning mindset this weekend and do or die game, give out our best, because this is our only hope going forward and what we want to achieve.
Thank you. Second row, please.
Simon, can I just ask about Kuruvili's goal kicking? He was excellent. How much experience has he sort of got in that, and how's his injury as well when he came off?
An injury, he had cramp, so he had to work on that. Drink some more pickle juice. He has trained well all week. He's kicked since we were back in Warriors and under 20s back in 2020. So he's not been a regular, but Sarah Meyer and Glenn have worked very well with him. All the kickers have worked very hard to get a real consistency there, and he was outstanding today.
Thank you. Go back to the gentleman at the front, please.
Simon, you were part of the Australian coaching panel a few years ago. How does it feel to play and win against them today?
It's a totally different. It's a new campaign, so I'm happy because the boys won. I'm happy for this group. I'm happy for our captain, who's led from the front right from the start. We have pushed them hard from the beginning. 11 weeks, 12 weeks of preparation. We wanted to change who we are, our identity, what we stood for, and we have traditional areas where those tier one teams, developed nations attack us, and I think those are the areas where we've really improved. And I think teams talking of us as a bunch of very talented individuals is passing now where we've got a very good team of talented players. So it's all credit to these boys. We've put the framework in place and they've put the work in.
Thank you. Second row, please.
Congratulations, Simon. Was this the statement, the victory that was needed for Fiji to kind of remind SANZAR and other unions around the world that they should be included in the Rugby Championship? And it's all well and good having Super Rugby, but
always about being included in those sort of competitions. But today was not about that. Today was about us winning this game and staying alive in the tournament. We've had that mindset from the beginning. If we do the things right, we prepare right, we'll be in there amongst every match. So, yes, we want to be involved in those things moving forward, but today is about today. And I think if you consistently work hard, get consistent results, the rewards will come. And I think there's other teams that are pushing for that as well. And we've just got to put our front foot out there if the decision comes in, if a new tournament comes in, if those matches become available to us, we've got our hand up, we're ready to play those games. But today was about today.
Thank you, gentlemen. In the middle, please.
Isaiah, when you won that penalty right at the end of the game, it seemed like most of the players thought the game was over and they were celebrating, and you seemed to be thinking about, well, no, we've got to deny them the losing bonus point. Was there a little bit of confusion at that time, and how damaging could it be not to have got that penalty?
Yeah, because we wanted another bonus defensive points. That's why we decided to kick it at the goal.
Okay. At the front, please.
Simon, you said this was a very good Australian team, but you've been involved with Australian rugby for a long time. You'll know that they'll be getting smashed back at home and people will be very disappointed with them. What do you expect the response will be? Where do you think the Wallabies are really at the moment? And lots of questions. And what were the areas, the weaknesses that you saw that you were able to target?
I thought to start off with, I thought we're very similar teams the way we play. We had a theme for the week. It was strike versus strike. We got a lot of strike weapons. They had a lot of strike weapons. We knew the game line was going to be a real contest. I knew Australia was going to come at us in the set piece. So we had to go in those areas and get more than parity, get over that game line. So we had a real mindset there to go in and try and win those battles. And yeah, I know what the media's like. It's tougher because the Wallabies have got a great young core there that is going to do them well moving into the future. And they had a couple of unlucky injuries this week that affected their preparation, but they've got a great squad, and I think it's a squad that needs to be backed into the next cycle, through this cycle. Eddie's very good at what he does. So it's in the motion of the game, very happy to win the game. But yeah, we knew we were very similar in styles that we wanted to play, and we knew the areas that we needed to try and dominate to get that win. And yeah, we were lucky enough to get the win today.
Thank you. Gentleman, second row, please.
Just on those injuries, did you buy the mind games that the Wallabies were playing regarding Will Skelton and even Taniela for a few days as well?
No, I didn't buy anything. I didn't read the media. I worry about my team. What our preparation is. If we got the preparation right, we could have, like I said earlier, we could have fallen into the trap of complaining about last week and what happened the last weekend. We watched that on the Monday, got that out of our system, and preparation day by day by day. How do we beat the Wallabies? And I think that's the great thing about this team. Their mindset on what's the next task is it's a different team. It's a different Fijian team. I think this Flying Fijians is a new generation, and I think they're taking this Fiji rugby forward. So you can look at the press, you can look at what is going on there, but it didn't really affect our preparation. We knew who we were playing, so we had to concentrate on what we do.
Question over there. Thank you.
I should have asked about Bottier and Tuisara as well. Are they okay after they came off?
Levani had put in a really good shift, it was probably time for him to come off, but he played really well on the ball. Great defence. Who was the other one?
Tuisara.
So yeah, he's obviously had not a long-term ankle injury. He came into the tournament. He twisted his ankle badly over in Pornic. So he was 3 weeks recovery, came off the bench last week and then played this week, played really well, but he just tweaked that same ankle, and hopefully it's not too bad. I think it was more just he was not ready for that full 80 minutes in terms of the ankle. So he got put in a really good shift today.
Just linked to them, they were a huge part of your success at the breakdown today and all the penalties you won. What was the key to that? Is it technique? Is it pressure? What's the answer?
Yeah, I think obviously Australia's got those strike weapons that I talked about, getting them to ground early so we can get our jackalers in there. Levani's world class at it. He's obviously done it in the top level of Europe, done it for Fiji for a long time, very hard over the ball, very good at getting those steals. And Josh, he's very good as well. Great bit of play over the park, been able to shift Semi out to the wing to negate some of the Wallabies' strengths. So yeah, they were both good.
Simon,
Thank you. Question at the back, please. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Simon, thank you. So Australia's a well-funded nation and team and setup. I think they've got 3 sports psychologists. They've paid a lot, they've got a lot of staff going on. Has someone who's worked within both programs, can you just give an example of what it's like, how you're resourced in comparison to Australia, and what kind of an achievement it is on that kind of level?
It's, there is a difference there. It's obviously with between the developed and the developing nations, tier 1, tier 2, in terms of resources. But we've been very lucky with, we can't talk about sponsors, can we? So our sponsors have been very good. World Rugby's been great support of us. We've prepared with what we've got the best we can. And I think, maybe you don't get those luxuries of the sports psychologists, but we're lucky we've got other things in terms of, we were able to bring a talatala in, our reverend who came in, who is kind of you talk about mental well-being, it's our mental well-being, being in connection with our religion, being in connection with our people. Our game and campaign being geared towards important to us as Fijians. So we have those sort of things. But there is, we always want more. You want always more resources, but you have to make do with what's the best you have. I'll take more matches over resources. The more matches we get at this level, talking outside the World Cup, if Fiji can get those tier 1 matches more regularly, you've seen what these boys can do when they get that regular competition. I don't like to make the comparison between the two because it's 2 different programs.
Thank you, gentleman on the right, please.
Simon, how do you think this leaves Pool C now?
Yeah, let me get over Sunday. It's like last week. You're obviously emotionally drained after the matches, but we've got our foot in the door. So that's all we can ask. We've got the next weekend off, so we can get a few injuries and a few knocks that are within the team, get them right. We're unlucky with one of our props, Johnny Gondundua, who pulled his hamstring yesterday, so that's a big hit for us. But we had the mindset of this week. This match is our final. Now we've got the next match coming up, and we'll look at that, and then we'll go on to the next one. So we've put our foot in the door, and we're still in there.
Thank you. I think the last 2 questions. Was there somebody at the back who? Yes, gentleman there, please. A new question.
Congrats, Simon. It was a tough loss against Wales first game. You now put on a red shirt and cheer them on next Sunday against Australia?
No, we'll watch the game. So it obviously, it's out of our control. It'd just be good to be able to put our feet up and watch the game and see how it goes. And we'll do the equations and what we have to do. We just have to continue with our preparation and our performance, and look after what we can look after, control our controllables. We can't. It's going to be a great match. I think both of them fighting for that win. So it'll be good to sit back and watch it.
Thank you. Just come back to the front, please. Coming to our last couple of questions. One here and then one over here.
Simon, just to pick up on saying you'd rather have more matches, and going back to what you were talking about last week's press conference, I know you only speak for your team, but when you look at Tonga's result yesterday, Fiji has had the most tier 1 matches coming into it. Samoa had the next and have done pretty well. Tonga had the PNC along with you guys, and then just got Canada. Do you think that the difference between your performances is highlighting something to World Rugby?
No, obviously I'm geared towards Fiji. Obviously working with Fiji, but I think I'm a bit of a spokesman for developing nations. I think we all need to be pushed. I think we all need those opportunities. We all need that platform. And you see, I think this World Cup's been the closest in terms of the performances, pushing those developed nations with the tier 2. So it's really good, and you look with pride as a fellow coach to the other teams, and we're all quite tight as well. So I think the more matches you get that are across the nations, the better each team's going to be.
so sorry, I have to leave it there because the mixed zone is now just about to open and this Team Australia is about to go through. So a big thank you for your time this evening. Congratulations. Thank you very much.